I've always said there's things, I think you even heard me say this growing up, of there's things you shouldn't say, but you have the right to say them. It just lets the rest of us know you're stupid, at least. Like, I say that not in the political side, but in someone being
Just
racist or
general.
bigoted or, yeah, something in general. Like, you shouldn't be racist. You shouldn't be bigoted. You shouldn't say these things, but you should have the right to say it. And it lets the rest of us know where your mindset is on those issues. But more and more you see, and I can tell by the way you're saying it, you're starting to notice it where you have shifted a little more right of the aisle. And I can tell you, being a pretty strong conservative in my mature life, I wouldn't say adult, because I kind of 13, 14, I started to realize I was more on that traditional conservative side of everything. And I remember going to college, and it's kind of my version of your fifth grade story of, I got on campus and this girl walked up to me and was like, "Hey, are you registered to vote?" And I was like, "No, not really, but why are you talking to me? I don't know you." She started to register me to vote, and she was like, "Oh, by the way, you should vote for Bernie," because this would have been 2016. And I was like, well, I kind of like the free college thing. That sounds good to me, but I don't know how he's going to afford it. And if she could have, she would have taken the clipboard out of my hand because she realized I was saying I was going to vote for Trump. And I remember having that kind of back and forth. And I was like, okay, I've always been conservative and I want to be able to talk about that. I want to talk about it with my friends and I want to talk about it in my community. And I can remember walking around campus feeling like I needed to put a muzzle on because every time I spoke up on those more traditional conservative values, I was always met with an opposition of, how could you be so hateful? How could you be so bigoted? And it got to the point that I felt like my mouth was shut. I couldn't say anything. And you reach to that point of, how can I be myself in anything if I can't truly express myself? We hear that all the time in the trans conversation and the LGBTQ space of, this is your identity, this is who you are, be proud and loud about it. Why does that not get applied to every facet of what makes us who we are? When you're shut down and because you're not the red jersey or the blue jersey, because it happens on both sides. I don't mean to keep going back to the left and a Democrat side of is always the side that shuts you down, because you see it on both. I've seen just as many on the right of, well, you're having this conversation, it's not true, we should still hear them out. But we need to find that balance of, let's have a conversation, but not be so mean to each other, to kind of put it in layman terms. I don't know a better way to put it.